Shalom, my beautiful kings and queens, all of my beautiful nieces and nephews. How are you guys doing today, family? So it's 2:26 a.m. here in the Middle East, and me and Avaya, we've been up and cooking because we have become so Middle Eastern. They come alive, y'all. The pot is just cooking at midnight in the East. So it's not a good thing to eat late. Um, but this is the culture here. So we wanted to make something that we haven't had in a long time that is totally an American dish, pretty much. You can find it in other countries too, but it's big in America. And that's chicken pot pie. Yeah, we had a taste for that. So tell me in the comments what you had for dinner or a taste for today. Or tell me about your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. I don't care what it is. If it's vegan, as long as it's kosher, we could talk about it. Um, Vegan, if you're a pescatarian, if you're a vegetarian, let's hear about your meals and your favorites, okay? So I'm here because I want to share a story time with you, and I want to take you all the way back in my 20s, which was a long time ago, but who's counting time and age? Age is just a number. That's all it is. So I was in my, I would like to say early 20s, and I had just finished college and I was working, and then I ended up losing my job. And so I was having a very difficult time during this period of my life. And so you see by the heading, I'm talking about reciprocity as well as being very careful who you accept alms or gifts from. Okay? This is going to be a very deep topic. We're going to dive in today and along with some story times. Okay, so here I was, now unemployed, in between looking for new job opportunities. And I had a very beautiful friend, still my friend up to this day. Uh, Her name is Carmen. She's a Mexican sister. And we ended up moving out of the dorms, and we ended up living in the same complex in different townhomes or apartments. And so we met up there. And she's just this beautiful, kind, just chef kiss person. Some people come into our lives and they just leave a lasting impressions on our lives, even if we haven't seen or heard from them in a while. And she's one of those people. So she invited me to go next door to the state Kentucky, which was about an hour and a half, 3 hours the most, give or take. And we were going to go to this church because I was in Christianity at this time. So we were going to go to this pastor to visit his church that we were really fond of. her roommate, along with another friend of the roommate, were all gonna go on this journey together. And so at this time, as mentioned, things were really rough with me. I barely had anything in my refrigerator, much less the cabinets, to eat. But not to worry. In those times, and even now, when you're close to like nothing, or you don't have nothing, there's always a phone call or a door knock or someone who knows nothing about your situation, Yah speaks to say, go and help Nazareth soul. Go and help Mr. Real Talk. Go and help Earth or Avaya. That's how it works. People are not in control of how Yah baraks us. He baraks us with or without people's approval or love. That's not going to change. The only thing that can change that is our own rebellion or wicked soul where Yah has to chastise us. Because the word says the righteous is never forsaken nor his seed begging bread. And Yah has put us in times even where he speaks about in the wilderness how he took us through hunger and thirst just so we can prove Yah's faithfulness. And so if you ever come to a point in your life and things are really low and down and you're in this wilderness, always know Yah is in the midst of that wilderness. He is the eye of the storm, in the eye of the storm, and he will always have a ram in the bush for you. I know this by experience, and many of you know this by experience. So I go on this journey. We traveled, and before I went, I'm jumping ahead. I had some eggs. All I had was some eggs and some crackers, and I always had tea. For some reason, I always had tea. Tea is a must. And I said, I'm going to eat this before my friend Carmen comes and get me. Um, she knew my situation, and because I was pretty close with her, and she was always empathetic and helpful towards me. Um, and I said, I'm gonna fill my belly here, and I'm gonna hold my stomach until I get back because I'm not gonna be dependent on anyone for anything. So we go to the church. It's great for what we knew back then, you know, in that particular religion. And after we got out of church, these ladies wanted to go for something to eat. Now, I know I didn't have any money, and Carmen, with her sweet self, she already know I'm not going to leave Earth out because I know what she's going through. And so we get there and to KFC, and Carmen says, "Let me get you something." I said, "No, sister, I ate before we came on the trip." And she said, "No, I can get you something so you can eat something." I said, "I'm fine, sister." Now, here is her very toxic, narcissistic roommate. I didn't know what that energy and spirit was back then, until I got into my field of work. And so this roommate was like, "Yes, we can put together and get you um, one of these special." Well, first off, KFC wasn't that expensive where you had to put together to get me a meal. She just wanted to include herself into something, looking for an opportunity, which I'm going to get into the meat of the story coming up. And so, because Carmen was able to afford that particular meal, by herself for me. She didn't need the help of this roommate. And I told her roommate, no, I'm good. No, we're going to get you this food we're going to put together. She put about $1 something or so to get this meal. Um, and we're always grateful for help, but not when there is ulterior motives behind it. It was just something off I didn't want to receive from her. But anyway, she forced herself and she got this meal. We got to the table, and y'all, before I could put a piece of the chicken to my mouth, this woman was downing me about she doesn't understand how I'm making it without employment. She was just totally degrading me. She just wanted to get that meal so she could put it in my face. Let's read what Ecclesiasticus, let's go to it, babies, chapter 13 and 17 has to say about this, how the rich man, he waits to shame you by his meat. Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 13 and 7. What do you want to say, Avaya?
No, he said it. He had said 17 earlier.
Okay, thank you for the correction.
No
I
problem.
appreciate that.
No problem.
So, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13 and verse 7. This is in the book of the Apocrypha, okay? And he will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice, and at the last he will laugh thee to scorn afterward. When he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. So some people, like the scripture says also in Sirach, it's a friend who looks for an occasion, right?
Yeah, a friend for his own occasion.
Yes, they're waiting, giving you things for an occasion to either bring shame to you or to feel entitled to things in your life by way of control or mistreatment. And so many people, they prey on people in their most vulnerable times. And that's why growing up, our parents always told us never let your left hand know what the right hand is doing. And this is why a lot of brothers and sisters, too, even in the States, they, even in the Middle East, they would say you wouldn't know what they don't have. They won't tell you because they know the nature of human. But people would say, thug that shit out. Let that be between you and the Most High. Now, we've had, on an individual basis and collectively, Abaya and I, we've had people who've come into our lives as sincere destiny helpers, where they have given thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, with no strings attached, with no feelings of entitlement or mistreatment or disgracing us based on our vulnerability. And then there have been some who have given you even less, a cup of water, a few dollars, that would use that to disgrace you or try to do so. So there is a difference. And this is why when my sister came 4 years ago to Egypt, I told her, I said, Avaya, don't take and drink from everyone who invites you in this country. Do not do that, because coming out of Christianity, we were taught don't block your blessings. But in doing so, many people had the upper hand over you when they help you, right? Um, were you mistreated from people helping you as well?
Yes.
and putting you to scorn. Now, I want to make a big discretion um, that there are some genuine givers in this community, and you can sense the purity of the souls of these people. One I would love to give a shout out to is Brother Nazareth Soul. That brother, he's always helping and giving people, even to the point of him neglecting some of his needs to help other people. And brother, if you're listening, Yah has big barakas for you. And I love when he shares his testimony with helping. He doesn't do it to embarrass anyone or to brag. I did this. You could tell it's from the sincerity of his heart. And there are other people too, um, even like Brother Bez. He's such a teddy bear. um, with posting even things with people having needs, stuff like that, and other people in this community as well. And I'd like to give that shout out even to Sister Shelley. She's one who loves to help in these kinds of things as well. May the Most High barack you all in your going out and your coming in. And so I want to get into why we should reciprocate. So when people from in America or anywhere I travel, and I've also, um, my sister, she's picked on a lot of my lifestyle and the way I do things as well. And she is a generous soul too. And what I like to do, if someone brings me a meal or they do something special, or even give me money, always give a card of gratitude. And I always do something special for them, whether it's I exchange making a special meal for them, or going out and making like a tea basket with assorted teas and buying a tea set or something and putting inside that basket some kind of means. Even if I run low on something, rather than me asking people, hey, could you, there's very few people that I would go and ask directly from if I really needed to say, sis or brother, could you help me? And these are people I have long term relationships with, and they are proven, to be genuine in
Hmm.
heart.
Yes.
And the same with us to them when we're on our feet, with us, the same. We're always doing something, even if we're not on our feet. We're reciprocating something, even if we make a banana bread
Yes.
and take a box of tea, their
Yeah.
favorite tea or coffee to them,
Yeah.
to say, sister, brother, in any country we live in or any of our own people, we do that with. Reciprocation, it's a universal law. When you do this, also, brothers and sisters, you're also not giving people a chance if they have a heart of raw motives that they're helping you, that you have the receipt that you did something back in return. You never want to be one to just have your hands open, anyways. The scripture tells you not to do that. emotional intelligence and empathy. It teaches you how to have that heart to reciprocate, to give back, because no one wants a person with their hands always open and you're doing, and they're not doing the same to you. It's the same concept. Never call a person more than twice. If you see a person don't pick up the phone and call you, you have to be the one calling all the time. That person is not interested in reciprocating that type of energy back to you. So they're pouring out your heart and your soul, and you're getting nothing back in return. So reciprocation is very important because it shows value and respect back to that person. Even in my field of work, sometimes there's the clients, they don't come. Sometimes every business have a high season and a low season. And sometimes before I would ask a person to help me, I would say to even those friends that I'm close with, or people that I'm not close with, hey, can I offer you some treatments, holistic treatments? um, could you purchase like some of my treatments? Um, I could use some help in my business right now. So there's an exchange. Even people in this community who have tried to help us or wanted to give, Avaya and I always gave something back or offered, because we never wanted someone to just be giving to us, or we never know how people could switch or what their motives may be. And this comes from trauma of people mistreating you in your low places. And you are in your rights with anyone wanting to give you anything. You are in your rights to know what agreement or covenant you're getting into. You can ask them, is there something you're expecting from me by giving me this gift? Are you wanting to receive something in return? You are to do this especially if you're not comfortable or you're not 100% sure about the motives or intention of that person. There's nothing wrong with doing that, because you end up receiving money and gifts and things from people, but that person in their heart and mind, now because they're giving you, they feel entitled to receiving things from you that you may not be wanting to compromise, like them coming to stay in your home, like them coming to visit you, etc. And so never be ashamed to ask, brother, sister, do you want something? Like, why are you doing this for me? There are some people you don't have to ask that to, because Yah already showed you their motives, that they're destiny helpers. Like Brother Nazareth Soul, um, both Avaya and I are big givers. I come from a place in Miami where my residence was on the same street as many of the Miami Heat players in the NBA. I saw them, Lamborghinis, Porsche, Bentley, you name it, on my street, living in a condo overlooking Miami Beach and Biscayne Bay. And so I was very privileged to have that type of lifestyle, because it enabled me to help other brothers and sisters, people who were less fortunate around me. And so in one day, I had two separate people call my phone who don't even know each other. It was a test from yeah, let me tell you. One lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and one in Texas. And they never met each other. They both called me in the space of maybe less than an hour, saying, "Sis, I need help. I'm about to be evicted." All I needed to know was how much you needed and how can I get the money to you. I was like, woohoo! Yeah, you're giving me an opportunity to help somebody. I felt I was filled with joy. I was filled with so much joy that these people entrusted me to come to me with such a vulnerable situation. And I took some time off from work. After they called me, I had to take a long break from work. And I went and I got those monies and paid whatever they needed paid from my savings account because I had it. And I couldn't see myself living in such a lavish position. There are other people who are way more lavish than the lifestyle I've had, but I had enough. Yah baracked me with enough to give. And once I gave them, those sisters, I never, and brothers, never brought it up to them, just like people have baracked me and my sister with hundreds and thousands. We've done the same for people. And I love to hear testimonies of kind, genuine hearted people um, truly out there helping people with no strings attached and no motives behind it. Some of the people we help, we don't ever get to see again. We don't, or we were just in each other's lives for a season. There's something in me and Avaya's culture where people who have bad motives giving, even sometimes even with good motives, like if you buy someone a dress, you don't say in public, "Oh, I bought her that dress." You're known as low class for doing something like that. Someone sharing a humble testimony like, "I have given thousands, hundreds, helping people." They're just giving a testimony of how, yeah, I use them. And even in their low time, they're still helping people. That's beautiful. That's not to be confused with the category of people who do stuff and then they go and talk shit to make other people to bring shame, like the rich man at the table with the meat, or as the lady did in reality and others have done to me and my sister, why we are cautious who we take from. And so we always reciprocate, whether it's being a shoulder to cry on, giving console, energy healing, or if we are unable to help someone, we make sure we get other people who can represent us, who can help in proxy for us. But we're always doing something back, showing gratitude and reciprocating because we know how human work. I want to read Ecclesiastic 7 and 7 from the Old Testament. It says, "Surely oppression makes a wise man foolish, and a bribe destroys the understanding and judgment." A lot of times when you're vulnerable or when people help you, you become subjugated under them. If you don't you can lose your integrity if you're not a strong person. um, when you accept gifts, people feel that you cannot correct them because they gave you the gift, and they feel you're ungrateful um, for standing in integrity. And I want to warn you, family, be very careful and take note at who is forcing you to take things from them. A lot of times, people who force you and they to take things and they're angry at you for not accepting their gifts is because there's a motive behind it, and you caught it. It's happened to us more than once, right?
Yes.
There's always a narcissistic or toxic injury they receive because you see through it. Never accept anyone against your soul. That's what the book of Sirach says. Accept no man against your soul. If you don't feel you want to take that gift for whatever reason, you are not obligated to. They can take it and be in their feelings however they want to. You can reject that gift respectfully. It doesn't matter how low your situation is, if you're struggling or not. You don't have to accept a gift from somebody because you're struggling or you're down. They are not Yah in your life. Yah has genuine destiny helpers to come into your life to help you for whatever period. So many people have helped me, or people I've helped, and we are no longer in each other's life. Not from animosity, it's because we did our part and we departed from each other. There's no strings attached. If we see each other in the future, we'll be happy to see each other. But I want you to pay attention to your dreams too, beloveds, because during the latter part of November, I had a very strange dream. And I told my sister, like some days later, because it was troubling, right?
Yes.
I said, sis, I had a dream. There were three people in my dream, and they go way back with me from college time. They were my friends back in my 20s and early 30s. I said in the dream, one of them were extremely angry at me and they came to fight me. And I said, why? Why you want, it seems so out of character for that person. Why are you fighting? And the person said to me, she said, now in the dream, they were siblings, and they are siblings in real life, these three people. But my dreams are always symbolic of something. I dream verbatim things that happen afterward. And she said, I'm angry because you don't acknowledge me for all the things I've done for you. And I said, what? This person was furious. And I said, what? This person had gotten things into their head and they attacked me. But thanks be to the Most High, in the dream, when I began to talk to the person, they calmed down and realized what their error was. And we ended up embracing and hugging each other and reconciling. within that dream. Now, the other two people in the dream, which are her brothers, it was one girl and two boys in the dream. Now, the middle brother, which is the middle child, he was not angry, and he was what is the opposite of not? He wasn't angry, and he wasn't like, I don't know, it was like a balance.
It's like it was just neutral.
He was mutual.
Yeah.
Nothing, no animosity towards me, just, you know,
Yeah. Neutral.
mutual. But the youngest one was angry as well too, and I had to kind of threaten him in the dream, like, listen, Abba, don't play about me. You better calm down. And the person calmed down in the dream. And it's just so funny when you have dreams and things like that happen in real life, huh?
Yes.
Yah never lets anything come upon me unaware. So I just want you guys to be very cautious who you accept things from. Never accept any gift if your soul is telling you, no, you have that right by the word, thus says the Most High, the word, the precept. Accept no man against thy soul. I have another scripture here, and Avaya is going to break that down. And then she's going to tell you about Abraham, and we're going to end this. So we have here in Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 40 and 29. Yeah, we're being warned here. The life of him that depended on another man's table is not to be counted for a life, for he polluted himself with other man's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof. Could you break that down for us, please, Avaya?
Uh, sure. So if you are dependent on a person, you're at their mercy. And if that person has ill intentions and is a wicked person, they can have you in all sorts of mess and wickedness because you're obligated to them because you're dependent on them.
Exactly. And let me give you a word of integrity. Let me tell you, I've had to walk from people away who was helping, who wanted to do other people dirty and wanted me to be a part of it. Like, you can take all your shit. I'll sleep on the streets. You ain't gonna pull me in this. Yah says, um, do not be at enmity with no one who has not done you harm. So you ain't gonna pull me in some curry favor shit and pollution. You ain't gonna pull me in no unintegral stuff and I can't speak up because you're helping me.
Yeah.
No, I would rather go to the streets. You gotta know your integrity and your ethics. And just because someone helped you, gave you a few dollars or so, because people would impose themselves to give you and then turn around and call you all kinds of things when you told them you didn't want nothing from them and they insisted. We have many people, some relatives we're still in contact with, friends or people we've met along the way who wanted to ship things here to us, and we told them no, that we don't want you paying for shipping and customs is too much money,
Yes.
which is true.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want people dishing out that kind of money. And but you are not obligated to anyone not to speak your truth or no one is has the right to mistreat you because they've given you alms or help.
Yeah.
And so, sis, let's close with the Abraham story.
Yes, that's in Genesis chapter 23.
Mm-hmm.
That's the story of Abraham when Sarah had passed,
Mm-hmm.
and he was acquiring land to bury her
Mm-hmm.
from the people of the land. So he inquired of the land, inquired to purchase land, and they were saying he can choose any land that he want because they had him, they honored him, they looked at him as a prince and as an honorable man. So they were saying that he could choose any land that he wanted, and but he inquired and said that he would like to purchase the land from uh, Ephron.
Mm-hmm.
And Ephraim told him, "No, you can go ahead and have it." And Abraham insisted on purchasing the land for integrity. And Ephraim told him, "What is it? What is 400 pieces of silver between me and you?" So I guess they were looking at it. He was looking at it that is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
However, but you see in that he still, he was saying the price of the land. Abraham thanked him and paid it, but in that Abraham was being um, was reciprocating also because they allowed him to be in their land,
Right.
and Ephraim wanted reciprocation also for the land itself. But
Exactly. He was trying to be nice, or he was being nice, but he still wanted,
yes,
to secure the bag.
yes,
And there's nothing wrong with that.
not at all.
Just be upfront and tell people what you want in return if you're giving something.
Yes.
Don't be sneaky about it.
Yeah, he didn't really, like, come out and says, "Well, the price of the land is this." He kind of indirectly said,
Yeah. Well, what is 400 shekels pieces of
the
silver
silver.
between
Yeah,
you and I?
yeah,
In other words, wink, wink, give me the 400
yeah,
silver.
400 is good.
So it was fair. It
Yeah,
was
yes,
between them. So never, never allow anyone, if you, sometimes we need help, but be careful. Never let anyone, no matter what the intentions, if it's good intention or bad, be careful who, especially when it comes to who's putting food on your table and keeping the roof over your head. Be careful with that. I don't like no one paying nothing for me because I know people can get nasty
yes,
and get in their feelings about stuff and throw out stuff. And so, yeah, we just wanted to share that with you guys. Always remember to not just reciprocate to cover yourself and have your receipt that no one can throw in your face they did this or that for you, but also reciprocate because it's the universal law of sowing and reaping. You, it's just fair. It's
yes,
it's proper karma to do that.
hmm,
Don't just have your hands out, but always, never be at the mercy of someone else providing for you. We have those moments where our hands are tied and people have to, um, help us. Yah will send us help, and always remember those people. But you are not obligated with people who have wrong intentions and wanting to force you to accept things from them and have the wrong motives for giving and cannot answer questions when you ask them, why are you helping me? What is the motive? Are you expecting this or that? That's a red flag.
yeah,
Okay? So stay sweet and keep staying righteous and May Yah continue to provide for each and every one of you. And we pray shalom and barakas over you. We love you. Mwah.